Hi everyone, it's Monica and I am back with another pregnancy video update for you guys. Oh my god, I can't believe this. Today I'm 39 weeks pregnant. Can you guys believe it? I'm 39 weeks today, so I'll be going through my 38 week pregnancy experience with you guys. So yeah, it's really exciting because this might be my last pregnancy video, like my week by week pregnancy updates, but who knows. Okay, let me just pull out the app here. Oh, 39 weeks. I'm so excited. I have just been like praying that, oh my god, baby, stay in there. Tomorrow evening my mom arrives here, and that's really all I'm waiting for, so she could come and take care of Maya, you know, when I go into labor, when Terry and I go to the hospital. Once she's here, I am ready. Like, I am going to do as much walking as possible and just like try to induce labor and like, yeah, like induce labor naturally, because I do not want my OB to induce me. So, trying to avoid that. Okay, so 38 weeks. The length of the baby is 19.61 inches from head to toe, and it weighs about 6.61 to 6.83 pounds, and it's about a size of a leek. That's exciting. And then let's go to my symptoms. By the way, you guys, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I make mommy and lifestyle videos, and so yeah, if you want to see more of that and more of my pregnancy videos, please consider subscribing, and all my pregnancy related videos will be linked down below, like on the description box below. Alright, so during the 38 week, so every week now I get to see my OB like once a week, and last week she was actually on vacation, so I had to see her substitute. And I was actually, before that, during that appointment, before going to that appointment, I was hoping that I could get that OB to check if I was dilating, but I didn't bother asking her because the appointment did not go very well. I just wanted to be out of there as soon as like I could. Like, it was just bad. Just the vibe. Just the OB that I had seen, she was very high pitched, high tone, and just basically just discouraging me from trying a VBAC. Now, this is something that I haven't mentioned to you guys. I know that earlier in my pregnancy, I mentioned that I wanted to try a VBAC, and then I changed my mind and booked a C-section because I was thinking, okay, I wanted to be booked, so you know, it's just easier because then it's planned ahead, considering that we don't have family and friends here where we moved in Ontario. So that's what I thought. And then during my third trimester, I had a change of heart, and I thought, wait a minute, do I really want to go through a C-section again? The recovery wasn't very easy, and you know, I thought about it, and I thought, like, recovering from a C-section with a newborn plus a toddler, I was like, wow, how's that gonna go? And even though I would have help, because again, my mother will be coming here to visit, she can't be here for as long as I want her to stay, or she can't be here for as long as she wants to stay and help me out. She has to leave like after 2 to 3 weeks. She's gonna have to like go back to her city, like in Edmonton. And with Terry, he can take some time off, but not by much, like maybe like a week max. So it's just, I'm just dreading the thought of recovering from a C-section. And again, I'm trying to keep an open mind that at the end of this, like if it comes down to it, when it comes to my baby's health and my health, of course, if a C-section is what I have to go through in the end, you know, to save me and my baby's life, okay, fine. But I would like the chance to have, I would like the chance to try a normal delivery. And this OB was just discouraging me, and she was like, okay, so what was your history? I'm like, well, you know, I was induced at 41 weeks, and I didn't progress. I only came to about like 8 centimeters. And just as I was like talking, and then she was like talking over me as well, like, you know, some people like that, and she was like, oh, well, if that was your history, and you didn't progress with a 6.4 pound baby, which was like my first baby, Maya, she was born at that weight, like she was 6.4 pounds. So that's mostly likely going to happen again. And then I'm just like getting this vibe from her that she's just so discouraging. And then her voice was just like so loud and just like, anyway, I just, you know, I told her right off the bat, I'm like, wow, you're very discouraging. And then she was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And then she went out. I'm like, okay. Anyway, she went out to say, she kept saying so many things, but at the end of her every sentence, she would be like, but again, I'm not your OB, so you're going to have to discuss this with Dr. McKinnon, which is my OBGYN. So I was like just sitting there thinking, like, is it even worth it, like trying to argue with this person? Like, most likely not. So anyway, she was like, if you are my patient, I would do things differently. I would induce you at 39 weeks. Now, when you're trying for a VBAC, you want to try and avoid to be induced, because I honestly believe with my situation, with my previous pregnancy, with my labor and delivery, I was induced at 41 weeks. I feel like I could have waited maybe a day or two, and then once I, you know, like once my body did its thing, like, you know, I feel like I could have had that chance to deliver normally, but because I was induced, and then also I decided to get an epidural very early on during labor, which I think also contributed to just not progressing, because I was basically just laying in the hospital bed and just waiting. Like, I felt like if I was probably moving around, bouncing on the birthing ball and all that, I felt like that that would have made a big difference. And I was telling her this, like all this, to that OB, and she was like, no, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you were walking around. It doesn't matter if you got the epidural early. You didn't progress, you didn't progress. And to me, for her to say that, I was just, are you serious? It's proven. It's a fact that, like, moving around in gravity and all that, like, it helps. Like, and I'm not saying that, you know, like, you know, I'm sure there are women out there who did those things and still ended up in a C-section. I mean, every case is different. But for her to say that, oh yeah, no, like, that has nothing to do with it, you didn't progress. So basically she was telling me that, no, you're, you know, like, you trying a VBAC is not a good idea and you're not going to be successful. That's pretty much what she was, like, getting at. And I was just like, obviously, those aren't the things, those are the things that I didn't want to hear. So anyway, I didn't get her to check if I was dilated or not, because I was like, let's just end this appointment, whatever. Anyway, you guys, I'm so sorry. I feel like it turned out into like me venting. So anyway, so she measured my belly, and then she was like, you're measuring small, which is kind of weird, because 4 weeks ago, my regular OB was like, you're looking big. And then now this doctor, or this OB/GYN, was like, you're measuring small, but at the same time, this is the first time I'm seeing you. But just to make sure, let's send you for another ultrasound. So I would say that the only good thing about that OB appointment that I had last week was her sending me for another ultrasound, because it's always nice to see the baby and how the baby's doing. So I went for that ultrasound that same day in the afternoon, and baby's measuring fine, and baby weighs, or not measuring, but the weight anyway. Baby's weight when I was 38 weeks and 3 days pregnant, my baby was weighing 6.8 pounds. Now, when you go to like this ultrasound appointments, I mean, if you're pregnant as well, you probably know this, that when they give you the weight of the baby, they will give you an approximate. So in my case, they were the tech was like, so right now the baby is 6.8 pounds, but it could be half a pound less or more. I'm like, okay. So I'm guessing that this baby, when your baby's born, she would be between 6.5 to 7.5 pounds, which I think it's like a good weight. So that's that. That happened during my 38 week. And then I'm just looking at my notes, guys, don't mind me. And then as far as my weight goes, it's the same, nothing's changed. I thought I was 139, but I was actually 138. So I think I lost like maybe a pound, maybe just a pound. And they say it's normal during the end, towards the end of your pregnancy, because you lose a little bit of like amniotic fluid. So yeah, and then I am still taking red raspberry leaf tea and evening primrose oil every day. I try not to go too heavy on them. I heard from what I read, it's not supposed to induce labor, but I've also read some articles where it did induce their labor. So I'm just trying to be careful, because again, I am waiting for my mother to be here. As long as she's here, I can go hard on those things as much as I want to. And by the way, if you are pregnant as well and you want to try this, please do your own research. Don't just rely on videos like this, or like vloggers that, oh yeah, do this, do that, because at the end of the day, like, it's your own body. So we just be careful. That's all. Do your own research. No mucus plug yet. So I don't know if, because it's not like, doesn't really mean a lot, because some women, they say that they lose their mucus plug like early on during their trimester, but it didn't really mean that they went into labor quickly or shortly after that. I have also done my birth plan. I know birth plans could just be thrown out the window, but that's something that I want to make a video about hopefully this week. Going to a different hospital this time around, because with my first pregnancy we were in a different city and now we moved. So yeah, I have that. And then also another symptoms during my 38 week and presently, shooting pains. I have been having this shooting pains around my belly that would last like for a second or two. It's almost like cramping, like period cramps, but very, very quick. Like, it happens like all throughout the day, but yeah, it's very quick. So I'm not too worried, but it makes me kind of think, does this mean labor is near, or like does this mean it's like one of the labor signs that the big day is indeed approaching? But I guess regardless of how I look at it, it is true that it is like, the big day is near, because I am 39 weeks today. And what else? And then, oh my god, guys, lower back pain. Last night and even this morning, I'm having this crazy lower back pain when I'm walking, and it's on my left side. I don't know what triggered it or what happened. Like, I'm not really sure, but it started like last night actually. When I'm sitting, I'm okay. It's when I'm like walking. As far as cravings, nothing at the moment, but over the weekend I was really craving Korean food. And then I think it was like Friday, and then that's when I started feeling those like cramping, like shooting pains. And so I had it in my head, I'm like, oh my god, I better not go into labor because first of all, my mom isn't here yet. Like I said, I need her to be here. I've been praying that this baby stays there until my mom gets here. But you know, like when you're in your third trimester, you can't help but think like, oh my god, is this it? Is this the sign? Anyways, so I was really like craving Korean food on like few days ago. So when I was having those cramps and then we went to that Korean restaurant and I'm just thinking, oh Lord, if I am gonna go into labor soon, let me just have my meal, because it was just one of those days that I'm like, oh my god, like I've been looking forward to this day. And but yeah, anyway, no, obviously I didn't go into labor, but it was very satisfying. We went to this popular Korean restaurant here in Ottawa, and that was good. And what else? And oh yeah, by the way, you guys, I have already finally filmed my what's in my hospital bag. If you want to see that, I will link it down below. And yeah, and that is about it, you guys. I will now show you my belly. I still get a lot of Braxton Hicks, like, but yeah, so this is the front and side, and it's measuring 43 inches around my belly. But yeah, I feel like somehow it's stopped growing, or maybe I'm just, I don't know. It stopped growing, but I don't know. Like, she's moving a lot, so that's good. But yeah, that is about it for this video, guys. So obviously, if I don't go into labor this week, I will see you guys next week for another pregnancy video update. Otherwise, my next video will be again like the birth plan, and also I'll try to film my labor and delivery story. I'll see how that goes, because you know, like once I go into labor, I'm not sure how it's gonna look like, if we'll have time to record and all that. But if we don't, then I'm just going to talk about it like later on in the weeks to come. Alright, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Until my next video.